Hi everybody, and a warm welcome back to Maple Leaf Customs. I'm Andrew, and on the bench today is a 1:60 scale Matchbox Carbodies Taxi FX4R, produced from 1987 to 2002. According to the Matchbox Cars Wiki, this MB174 is the earlier version of the current model, the MB667 London Taxi. Like most Carbodies taxi models, it has opening rear doors. This one is in all black with the Union Jack and London Taxi tampos on the left side only. I'm going to look around online for some other livery variations and maybe give this old girl a facelift. You can see that the paint has been well scratched up and worn out. The plastic is of that cheap soft variety and it's pretty scuffed up. But on the good side, it's a metal base, and I think these original wheels can be nicely refurbished, so I'm not going to swap them out. This Matchbox casting is based on the Austin FX4R London Taxi that are ubiquitous all across one of my favorite cities in the world. Taxis in London were initially called hackneys, coming from a Norman French word which was used to mean a horse could be hired. They were horse-drawn carriages. The term is still in existence today. Most people, especially the older generation, always call the taxis hackney cabs. The first motorized taxis in London began operating on the streets of the city in 1897. The taxis originally ran on a motor that was powered by electricity. They were called Berseys after their inventor, Mr. Bersey. In 1948, Austin introduced the FX3. It ran on a petrol engine, which proved uneconomical for the time. But the FX3 is the model that made the black taxi look popular. The cabs were all made in black, and anyone who wanted a different color had to pay extra. Seeing as it was the post-war period, most fleet owners wanted to keep costs low, and they decided they wouldn't pay a dime more for fancy colors. Since then, most cabs in London have remained black for ease of identification. The Austin FX4 came into production in 1958. Since then, it has undergone little change and has been crisscrossing the roads of London for over 60 years. It's become an iconic symbol of the city, like the Tower of London or the Parliament buildings. For many tourists, it's the first thing to greet you at Heathrow Airport and the last thing you'll probably see as you're dropped off for your flight home. I have a couple of different metal polishing products that I alternate between. Autosol is very popular in Europe, but today I'm going to give the metal base the Flitz treatment. It's already been descaled and the brass brush has got it really looking presentable already, but this is an extra step to take that puts a high shine on it. Every time I do this, and if it's your first time with the polish, you might think right about here, oh no, what have I done? Because it turns to black sludge. But press on, and in a short time, the highlights are going to start to peek out, and I'd say in 2 or 3 minutes you wipe it down like this. I give it a brush with an old toothbrush to get any remaining polish off, and you've got a glistening metal base. Muy bueno. I give my attention to some of the casting lines with a fine-tooth file set, and everything should be ready for primer and paint in a few moments. This is time well spent at this stage. Today's community shout-out goes to a friend of mine, Donnie, in Virginia at Old School Cool Diecast. You're going to see lots of shorts displaying his excellent restoration work. I invite you to follow the link I put in the description to check out Donnie's work too. Thank you. Lots of good stuff coming up here at Maple Leaf Customs. Next weekend is a '53 custom Cadillac that I got from my granddaughter, and something different is my first Trash Bash Space Cruiser. Don't miss it. At the end of the month, It's the Four Horsemen build-off. It's the Paint It Pink theme. Any casting you want is for breast cancer awareness. Get all subbed up and ring that bell so you don't miss any of these and more upcoming specials on my channel. The degreasing of the cleaned up body, and in this case the removable doors, is an essential step before everything gets a spritz of primer. And I'm sure to leave that to set up as long as possible to get the best paint finish. So while that's happening, I take this scuffed up glass, it's all in one piece, and I don't go at it too hard, but with some 2000 grit wet dry sandpaper and then some plastic polish or scratch remover, I carefully give it the once over, rinse it off, and then this is using a dip into some Pledge Revive floor polish, which is an old die-cast customizer's trick to give it a good, bright, long-lasting shine. Be sure to cover it up and leave it at least overnight so it fully sets. I told you I would give my best shot at refurbishing the original wheels, and in this case all they needed was a touch-up with the Molotow chrome pen to look brand new. And here's a high gloss black paint job that I airbrushed on. It's been set up overnight and been given one coat of clear. So now I can give my attention to the all-important decal treatment. I'm going to apply a design that I mocked up myself, loosely based on a couple of variations that I discovered online. First, I have to lay down a ghost white decal base because of the black body, and that needs to set up probably overnight if you've got the time. And then I apply my custom-made London cab with a Union Jack over the back tire well, London in the middle, and an image of the Tower of Big Ben. We've got a micro small custom license plate to go on the back, and I did this one in yellow to kind of follow suit with what is standard in the UK. Although it's got an MLC and a 186 for custom number 186. Taxi sign on the front fenders. And we're getting very close to the end. Time to put it all back together, beginning with the very fiddly suicide doors in the back. It's always a challenge to put these back in, it seems to me, no matter what model the car is, because you've got to hold them precariously until some more of the inside parts, like the glass and the molded interior, go in to hold them into place. But this one worked out okay. Other than that challenging part, there was nothing in the reassembly really to write home about. It all went back together as it should. The metal base fit on perfectly. And of course, the 256 Phillips head screws go back in as the final piece of the puzzle. I'm happy to report no issues along the way. And number 186 is in the can. Watch it go. We take a closer look, we can see a beautiful glossy finish from the clear coat. Makes the custom decals stand out really nicely. I had to cut the decals to accommodate the opening doors, and that happened right across some of the lettering, but that's unavoidable and a minor annoyance. I can live with that. I can show you the rear suicide doors, open and close as they should. The glass did not come out perfectly. You'll still see a couple of abrasions on there, but I did my best with that soft style plastic. And you may have noticed I exchanged the steering wheel in there for one of my own custom printed ones. Well, everyone remembers how worn out looking it was in the beginning. Looks like it had been chewed by the dog. And now we've got a beautiful, pristine, freshly painted and decaled London black cab ready to take you around town and show you the sights. It shows off well in the garage diorama under the neon lights. Here are the glamour shots from all angles. You can see the custom license plate on the back and detailed headlights and blinkers up front. I'm really pleased with how this turned out. So I pack it up and get it ready to go to my local Goodwill store. I'm doing that in participation with the hashtag DDOG, the Diecast Day of Giving, and that's today. I hope you'll participate too, to help us reach our goal of giving away 10,000 cars worldwide. Thanks for visiting my channel today. I really hope you enjoyed this video. Come on back soon and often. It's coffee time.